upload it to the Lola YouTube so you can refer back to it whenever you need to.
Cool.
Um, so you're an 80 carry main. This is your first season. Um, you have over 700 games played already. You have a positive win rate, which means you'll climb. You'll climb slow because it's 51%, but your LP wins should be probably two to four higher than your losses, I'd assume.
Yeah, I'm getting like 19 on a win, uh, and 16 on a loss usually.
Yeah. So you have 500 games played on Ashe, so you're doing the thing where you're one tricking a champion, which is good for learning just the basics of the game. You picked Ashe. She's pretty straightforward. There's nothing super mechanical about it. It's not a Vayne or a Kai'Sa.
Uh huh.
Your KDA isn't terrible. You have a good win rate on it for this many games. It's actually pretty good. One big thing is your CS is pretty low,
Okay.
um, which is pretty standard for silver. Like if we go to my CS, granted I'm playing mid lane. Besides my LeBlanc CS, which we don't talk about, everything is like closer to six.
Okay.
And on 80 carries, CS is like really important because it helps you spike earlier. It seems like you struggled to win a game on anything but Ashe.
Yeah, I pretty much I played a little bit season 8 and played a lot of Jinx, uh, but I've found I've just been more successful with Ashe.
Yeah, and we can see that. So if we go into collections, so you're playing Ashe. Another champ that, let's say Ashe gets banned, that you might want to look into picking up is something like Sivir. Pretty straightforward. You just kind of auto clear the wave. It's a little bit different than an Ashe. Ashe is somewhat of a lane bully with a high utility kit. When you got slow on your W, your ulti stun is really good, etc. Jhin might not be a bad pickup. I'm not super aware of where he is in the meta right now, but you can pretty much play almost anything you want.
Okay.
Um, or even Caitlyn. Caitlyn is auto attack heavy, kind of like a Sivir, um, but it's just not super mechanical. She's kind of a lane bully, similar to Ashe, but instead of using your only your abilities with Ashe, like your W poke, and then just tagging with autos when you can, Caitlyn is like almost fully autos, and then using her Q sometimes, and then getting free trap harass if she has a support with CC.
Okay.
So if you were looking to open up your champ pool, I'd recommend Caitlyn, Sivir, or Jhin. They're all auto attack based, similar to Ashe, but they
Okay.
all deal more damage than Ashe. I'd probably recommend Sivir Caitlyn before Jhin, just because Jin's passive is a little funky to get used to. Um, but Jinx is a little harder to play because she needs a lot of she needs a lot of peel because she's really immobile. Sivir has a spell shield and a speed up ulti, and then Caitlyn has her E, which is a little net dash.
Hmm. One question I had is should I stick with the Bork build, or I've seen a lot of people are going Essence Reaver into Trinity Force with like Arcane Comet and um, like that's like the most played now is an Essence Reaver, Trinity Force into IE, and going Arcane Comet, and then like Transcendence and Mana Flow Band and stuff like that. I guess so you can poke with W constantly.
It seems like that is the build, and I would assume that is the playstyle of it. So I'm just on op.gg. They have recommended builds. So it says recommended builds can be Essence Reaver into Triforce into IE, Essence Reaver Triforce into Hurricane, Bork Hurricane IE, Essence Tri GA, and Essence Tri and PD. They all have really nutty win rates for some fucking reason. But it seems like your top two picks are Essence Reaver into Triforce. Um, it's kind of interesting actually.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty
it would
recent. That's like in the last 2 weeks that started happening. I noticed it on Open. like U.GG and stuff like
Did anything? She didn't get any changes in the
that.
patch
No,
notes.
no, not at all. The last change was they took the second off of her debut at each level, but that was a couple patches ago.
I wonder if it was a change. Did they change essence this patch? Because
I don't think they did. I think they did all champion changes.
well, usually there's like a couple item changes, if any. But it seems like, yeah.
Yeah, it seems odd
Unless
that it happened. I don't know why it happened.
I don't have the. We'll see if anything changed in 913.
I think recently they actually made
They
Essence Reaver cost more money.
they upped the cost. Upgrade cost decrease, total cost increase, build path adjusted. So they gave it its crit back. Okay, so yeah, this build path's better. Because you get
Okay.
your early BF sword for damage, and Warhammer gives you CDR, and agility gives you crit. So you pretty much get more AD from it because you're switching pickaxe for BF.
Hmm.
Which is why its total cost increased to 100 gold. But the difference between BF and pickaxe is a lot more than 100 gold. But you make up the difference here. Like the combined cost to finish the item is a lot cheaper.
Okay.
So it used to be pickaxe Caulfield's cloak plus 425 gold. Now it's BF Caulfield's cloak plus 100 gold. So the hardest part about getting this is getting the BF.
Hmm.
You can build this in components, and then this is an 800 gold back. So you're front loading the cost with the BF sword, but BF
Okay.
sword is a better first buy than pickaxes if you can get there.
Okay.
Um, that still doesn't like completely answer why the build spikes so hard, but according to this, it is the best build. Is going
Okay.
Essence, Triforce into IE or Hurricane.
I've played it a couple times. It's different for sure than going Bork runnings IE.
I think like when I see this build, I think it is just solely based on being like a super strong lane bully. Um,
Just spam W then basically.
yeah, you have Comet for poke. You have Transcendence for 10% CDR with mana flow. So once you get this will stack pretty quickly, and then you have Scorch for an extra 15 to 30
Yeah.
damage burn. Um, Bloodline and Coup de Grace.
Yeah, I guess that's to make up for not having Bork.
I mean, Bloodline
How
on
I
Ashe is
feel.
just really, really dumb with her Q when she hits late game. Like, she can have Bork and this, and
Yeah.
it's like she has Bloodthirsters. I think
Okay.
she's almost always had Bloodline, but I might be wrong on that.
For a while, it was a clarity that I was saying,
Okay.
but for a while it was pros would go Bloodline and Overheal, but most other people were taking clarity.
I think Overheal is pretty bad now on all ADs.
Okay.
I feel like it's a really champion specific rune. Like, I'll take it on a Kali when I take Fleet.
Okay.
But I get more heal from the Fleet proc, which means my overshield from Overheal is bigger. Um, but it's really, I think this rune's really specific.
Okay.
Um, so that is one thing we will talk about. Is your builds are you're getting into the situation of building the same items every game.
Hmm.
Pretty much. I can do it this way. We can
Yeah,
look at
pretty
all.
much the only thing I'll change is I'll throw a Mercule in there if I'm fighting like a Mordekaiser and need QSS, or um, I'll go GA earlier if I'm just getting like assassin to death constantly or something like that.
Yeah. So there are some like pretty good things here that I see. Like your CS is pretty consistent at around 4 to 5, with some outlier games.
Hmm.
Um, so that's pretty good. You're playing a lot, which is a good and a bad thing. So we see here that was your last 20. In your last 20, you're 6 and 12. So you
Yeah,
might
it's
be.
been a bad last 30 for me. Part of my problem is my duo partner who plays support with me. He's not going to school right now because it's summer, and hit gold 3. So most of my games I'm actually playing with 3 or 4 golds, I think, is part of my issue
Mm.
in the last couple of weeks.
Uh, yeah. The thing is, you're silver too, and yeah, you have a lot of play games. You're probably not. The only difference between you and a gold player right now, if you want like my honest opinion, is
Uh
your
huh.
farm and your consistency, and that's pretty
Okay.
much like the biggest difference between low silver or between high silver and low gold. It's how many times like pushing on that glass ceiling. I don't know if you listened to the episode, but Blake described it as like just sitting there and pushing against the glass isn't always what breaks it. Sometimes just taking a step back and then pushing yourself into it is what will break that ceiling into your next elo bracket, and that's pretty much what like silver one, silver two is for gold, and then gold one for plat. Um,
Okay.
that's pretty much how I view it, at least.
Makes
So
sense.
there are some other things. This is your first season and you're already silver two, so that tells me that you either a have a basic understanding of mechanics in the AD role, and that you have a brain. We don't know what your brain is messing up, but we know that you have a brain
Okay.
because a lot of people who get stuck in silver, they never make it out, and they ended up placing silver, and it's the same thing with bronze and iron. So th- this gives me some hope that like I'm not gonna nitpick everything here. But
Well,
just
I mean, you're not gonna offend me with anything. I'd rather you rip me to shreds and let me know everything I need to know.
well, here's the thing. So one, I don't want to give you 20 different things to
Okay.
improve on. We're gonna pick out probably like three or four that I'm gonna give you that you can work on over the span of however long you want to do it. I'd recommend like 50 games.
Okay.
Probably about 15 to 20 games focusing on each little thing that we talk about. So the one that's going to be on here is going to be your CS, just being consistent with CS.
Okay.
Um, Something that I did when I switched from jungle to mid, because I had never really played a lane that collected CS, was I just went into a practice tool with no items. I locked XP and I just last hit without items, and I got used to last hitting with no items. And you learn that threshold, and then you'll always overkill when you have items. Um,
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
then once you get like really good at CSing and not missing CS with that, I'll add in a bot, and then I'll focus on like, can I focus on trading with the bot and still getting CS, or do I just only hard focus on trying to kill the bot and then I fall behind in a CS? I'll send you a video to a CS drill that this guy did. He was like pretty high elo. So I'll link you that after this. But
Okay. Cool.
what does Ponderous want? All right. So you wanted to do this one, yeah?
I'm seeing you've got like Internet Explorer or something open right now. It's still on builds.
How about now?
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
The 5, 5, and 8 game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So something I've also realized I'm having a problem with is a lot of the time my duo will end up with me at 3-0 or 4-0 really early
Mhm.
and can't figure, and then the other guys will play like super safe
Mhm.
and can't figure out how to use that lead to to further our lead, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Um so that's just kind of a snowballing thing that comes with time. Uh you'll learn uh it really depends on champions. So you're Ashe, so you have uh decent ability to take tower plates early, where if you're already up 4-0, 3-0, you should be pressuring that tier 1 turret and be looking to push first turret. And if you get first turret, you can look to take dragon and then reset and switch with your top laner. That probably won't happen at this elo. You'll probably get flamed a lot for walking top.
Yeah.
Um, it is the right play. It's just a lot of people don't fully grasp the macro side of it, especially in silver and even gold. People don't know the correct rotations or what objectives to trade.
Okay.
Um, So, is it going to be the good side? No. So, one thing I do every time I'm in loading screen or even champ select, I start thinking about my builds options for a game. So, in this game, you're playing Ashe into Caitlyn Rakan, and you have Zillion as your support. So I'd be thinking about matchup wise, what does your lane objectively want to do to quote unquote win lane, and what does their lane want to do to quote unquote win lane? So what do you know about Caitlyn as a champion?
I know she has the longest range of any ADC. Got to watch out for traps on CC. Her Q can do a ton of damage, or when her passes off, try not to let her get autos off on you with the headshot.
Yeah, and Rakan is an all-in squishy support that
Correct.
is gonna look to all-in you probably at level 2 and then again at level 6. And then Zillion, he's kind of looking to poke, survive lane, and then just be a extra source of utility for you. You guys have a pretty good ignore to all in with your arrow and his ulti, and then his double bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have to look at your jungle matchups, which probably might be something that you don't know much about. Uh,
I played Yi and Warwick season 8 quite. I understand what the jungles are. So we're playing against Eve in this one, or no, we're playing against Rammus in this one.
mhm,
So part of the problem we have with that is we just push lane constantly, which is probably stupid to just try and bully and get the tower plates like you're saying.
mhm.
So somebody like a Rammus can really fucking punish us, honestly.
Yeah. Another thing, as you start getting into gold, you'll notice is that like mid laners, like the LeBlancs, the Aries, um, will roam down and kill you as well, and that's a good way to make it really hard on your mid.
Okay, yeah, I think Yasuo is gonna roam on us a couple times on this and fuck us up.
Well, it would seem that this man is a Yasuo main based on his
Yeah.
name, but so I always think about what does their enemy jungler gonna do to me? What is their what is my jungler gonna do for me? So your jungler kind of relies on lanes being pushed up to get kills pre-6, because she doesn't have invisibility until she has ulti. So by you auto shoving and doing this thing where you're hard focused on getting tower plates, actually makes it so your jungler becomes even less effective, and their jungler becomes super effective.
Hmm. Okay.
So when a lane state is even in this game, you have your jungler is still technically has a disadvantage because it's harder for Evelyn to gank you pre-6 than it is for Rammus to gank you pre-6. You'll kind of
Yeah,
learn.
what I've noticed is I I don't see Evelyn, and it might just because I'm silver. I don't see Evelyn gank before 6 usually
It's really hard for
at
an
all.
Evelyn to get a gank off before 6.
Yeah.
She's looking to pretty much full clear her jungle, get a crab, and then even take raptors or golems because she has pretty good clears on both of them. Raptors are Evelyn's favorite camp, but also a good camp for Rammus to take once he
Okay.
has 3 levels roughly. Um, and then yeah, so we'll see how you play this out. You're just staying posted, which is fine. Do you play on lock camera?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I played a bunch of real time strategies growing up. The first experience with MOBAs that I had was the Dota like mod on Warcraft 3.
Okay. Well, that's probably why you're already silver too. You understand MOBAs at some point or at some level, some capacity.
I mean, that was 12 years ago probably though, so it's been a
Eh,
long time since I've played MOBAs.
it's in your blood. Right, this is fine. Alrighty. smurfing. So right
Stream
now, is this your
kind of
duo?
choppy right now. Yeah, this is my duo.
Okay. Um, I'll restart the capture. Discord isn't always the best.
Okay. I've also got Skype.
They both do it. It's just
Yeah.
I'll just stream League and tell me if you see anything.
I'll let you know. Upset. What's up?
You see it?
Do you have it paused right now?
Yeah. Is it still choppy?
Yeah. No, it's a lot better.
Okay.
Did you just pause it?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of choppy still.
All right. Let's go back to share screen.
That's better.
All right. So one thing, this is kind of a you and your duo thing.
Okay.
Whenever League updates. Oh, I guess it did. So the second you get that kill and you force Rakan back, he should be using all his abilities to crash this into turret.
Okay.
And the reason why is you don't really care about picking up all this CS right now because she's gonna miss most of this anyway. The important thing here is getting an XP lead and then getting your first blood's worth of gold spent like instantly because you pretty much missed the whole first wave of minions because you had this all in. So now your main objective is you shove this in and you push them farther behind because it takes the whole first wave and then the 3 melees of the second wave for bot lane to hit level 2. Um, so the more melees and casters you can kill from your first wave, the farther it puts them behind. So you'll have a constant XP lead and you have a gold lead and you reset and back and spend your 400 first blood gold on whether that's boots or a dagger or even another D blade if you pick up 50 CS from creeps and passive income, uh, you're stronger in more ways than one. You're gonna power spike sooner based off of levels, and you just have an item lead on her flat out. And she burnt both her sums, and you only burnt flash, so you should be looking to cram this advantage down her throat.
Okay.
So I would have.
So if we ever get the early one, especially on like a cheese like that or something stupid, then just shove it back and spend the money.
Yeah. So if you can, if they have if it ends up where like the wave is pretty even, say this Caitlyn queued your wave. Actually, no. Even if Caitlyn queued your wave, it'd be better because the minions would die faster. So
Okay.
if you like insta kill them before second wave spawns, or gets to lane, I'd just shove it in and spend your gold. Unless you're like full HP, full sums, and then I might wait until you can buy like a major item. But you're both 50% health, and rather than burning a pot, I'd just shove this back, use your gold, and then come back and look for another kill.
Okay.
I hate the League client sometimes. So you're gonna notice, I guess you get pretty good damage on it with 6 casters. Yeah, I was about to say, because there's almost no way you get that plate. Um, so now you're just left at an HP disadvantage, and you're gonna end up having, like, you burn your pots here for free, and she's pretty much back in this lane for free.
Okay.
Not back in it, but like she's just as strong as you are right now.
Yeah, because
Technically,
I haven't bought.
yeah, and she has pot advantage over you now.
Okay.
So now you're at this situation where you can't really walk up for this wave, which is what you're noticing now. And you're like completely forced off, which I don't think you have to be this afraid. Because you still have heal, so
Okay.
you're giving them like a lot of respect, which is fine because you're not gonna die. Oh, that was a good double bomb.
It's kind of choppy.
It's choppy again. It's probably because people are watching. Let me go. Where is the... Is this any better?
Oh,
No. Uh, this is better? Maybe? By a miracle?
is it playing right now?
No, the window just opened. It is now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So one thing, you see how technically you're behind in CS. Even if you get all four of these, you're still 8 to 12.
Man, it just froze up again.
I paused it.
Oh, okay.
But like, so your wave is crashing here. It's not even crash. It's like, it's not frozen because there's four minions here. But um, technically she has 7 plus the 4 here, so there's 11 here, and there's 5 here. So even if you get all 11, which you'd have to get all 11, and she'd have to she'd have to miss at least one for you to be back ahead of her.
Okay.
But this forces you to hit 5 minions perfectly, and relies on her missing one. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
in
so
order
so
for
I
you guys
definitely
to
should have
be
taken
even,
that. Okay.
like, you guys got like super far ahead with that first blood, but the lead is nullified right now because you didn't use the gold fast enough, and Caitlyn is still a lane bully, so it makes this lane still like rough despite killing her and burning both her sumps. Because your Zillion's out of mana and you're below 50% HP. She has fleet footwork and she's Caitlyn, so she can harass you and just naturally sustain up. And she still has pot. And by not crashing it into tower, you allow her to get the second wave that comes in, and the third wave, she's able to get most of it. Here comes the Evelyn gank. So despite you getting both of those kills, um, there was some like pretty big misplays. So one,
Okay.
I don't even think you saw Evelyn coming in.
No, I didn't. We both. I remember us both saying, "Oh shit, I didn't even see you coming."
Yeah, so just general map awareness, which is normal. But there's a couple things here.
Man, it's choppy.
Uh, okay, the only good thing is, so when I stream this, it won't be choppy, which is the plus.
Do I just need to watch it on Twitch?
Yeah, the only thing is there'll be a bit of a delay. Um,
I still should be able to figure out what you're talking. I don't ever use Twitch. How do I?
Just you can just click on the link I sent you and it'll pull you to the thing. You'll probably have to watch an ad, but
Click on.
so that link I sent you in Discord, just
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. And tell me when uh I'm assuming an ad's gonna play, so
No, I think I've got Twitch.
look at you. Uh so I'd mute the stream.
Okay, mute the stream. Okay, I was about to say this is gonna be
Yeah.
confusing as shit.
So pretty much what I'm gonna tell you, like this is where it gets awkward because what I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna see it until a couple seconds later.
Okay.
Maybe I can. Well, let me change my delay settings.
Stream delay.
Yeah,
Oh no,
maybe.
that's
So I'm really hoping that. Wait, I don't want a delay. I guess it's gonna be normal delay. Hmm. Wait, I think I left the fucking delay on like a moron. Yeah. This is why I like my other computer. Are you watching in Discord or Twitch?
I'm watching Twitch.
Okay. So, with this gank, you guys instantly back off the second Evelyn walks in, which is like a pretty big issue. And it makes this a lot closer than it has to be. Because you have the replay thing is bugged because Riot can't fix it. But in this, right at this point in the fight, you still have heal up and Zillion has ignite. So Evelyn goes in, and right there, you W and you took a micro step backwards where you should have just instantly started walking forwards after your W. Because
Okay.
you're walking forward while your lethal tempo is proccing, and then you're just able to uh, burn with autos. But that step back delays you from being able to do damage, so it allows them to output more damage because they don't die fast.
Okay.
Um, and then you hold your heal here, which is really risky, because, like, technically, um, if you just insta-heal the Evelyn there, your Zillion won't die anyway, because the Evelyn won't have to leave, because she gets the HP from heal.
Okay.
That's probably why she flashed late, because she was expecting a heal. Um, I mean, it works out. He wouldn't have died even if you didn't heal. So it would have just been better to heal the Evelyn there.
Okay.
And then again, I would have like hard shoved this. I wouldn't have worried about just picking up as much CS as possible. I'd be trying to focus on getting this, either getting this CS to crash, or you just let it sit here and it'll freeze here. And when Caitlyn gets back to lane, she'll shove it, but you should be pretty close to being back in lane by the time she shoves it. Actually, let's see what the right play is there technically with this wave. So I would have gotten the kill. She has 4 casters and 2 melees to your 2 melees and 3 casters. Um, it's not a cat yet. I would have just, after I killed her, I would have walked in the bush and instantly backed.
Okay.
And the reason for that is the wave is gonna settle like right here, technically,
Okay.
because she has an extra caster. Even though your minions have split aggro, this melee will die this melee will die. Your casters will insta kill this melee, and then it'll be 5 minions to 3. But your wave will match it, and like your wave will hit here before their wave hits here. So
Okay.
it'll freeze right here in this area. Caitlyn will beat you back to lane technically, um, but after this wave it should be Caddy, I believe, and it's harder for her to shove that. So by freezing it and just walking away after you kill, it actually gives you a higher chance of getting more CS and losing less XP than you going for this 7 CS or 6 CS and then like messing up your recall timer by not matching her.
All right.
And we'll probably see that happen. Granted, I don't know how good this Caitlyn is with lanes, but um, yeah. And this risk like you just getting insta ganked by the jungler. Like if this was a different jungler other than Rammus. So yeah, so your delay, your recall takes 10 seconds, and then it's probably gonna take you another 10 to 15 seconds to walk back to lane, depending on what you buy. And in that 10 to 15 seconds, they're gonna they're gonna fix this. They're gonna catch this wave, and it's a caddy wave, so they're probably gonna just instantly clear this, like pretty damn close.
Does Caddy Wave mean it's a canyon?
Cannon,
Canyon.
yeah. So if they get this cannon wave into your tower, they probably get a plate. Granted, Caitlyn has no items, so she might not actually have the damage to do it. She still has yet to buy anything other than D-Blade, which is interesting. She has 1,300 gold. Oh, she has 800 gold. So you bought Vamp Scepter. So as we know now, this isn't the ideal build.
So should I'll go long swords first now?
It depends. How much did you back with? You backed with 1,700. I would have bought a BF sword.
BF. Okay.
Yeah, I would have bought BF boots and pots. Or BF boots and longsword. Or dagger. Okay, so they didn't do it. Oh, they're slow pushing this into you. Okay, so that's a bad play on them. They should have... Don't miss the cannon. Okay, okay. Just CSing, just CSing. You're giving, like... You're playing as if you're behind, like, right now. You're giving
Okay.
the Caitlyn too much room. Now, if this was, like, an even lane, and you were both 0-0-0, um, it'd be okay. It'd still be a little too passive, in my opinion, but it wouldn't be as bad. But, like, if you look at your damage, you have 100 AD. She has 82. Um, you have lifesteal. She has fleet footwork. So you're able to trade effectively here, because you can match her lifesteal. You have 10% lifesteal. Fleet gives her. It won't tell me how much she's gotten from it, will it? Okay, but Fleet, she heals for like, she's healed 83, so it pretty much heals her for 20 on a champion hit, which is probably like 4 on a minion hit. So your Vamp Scepter is more efficient overall than her Fleet, because your Vamp Scepter heals you on every auto, and her Fleet proc only heals her on one auto per 9 seconds, depending on how much she moves. Um, so you're not using your lane advantage aggressively enough to create more advantages. Especially because you're halfway to 6, he's halfway to 6. Like, you guys have a pretty big lead, and the fact that he's landing poke here is really good because it gives you a lot of kill pressure at 6 with arrow. And it seems like you're using your W a lot for CS when you should be trying to use it more as a harassment tool. Especially because Kalen's half HP from your zillion bombs. Do you see how like far back she's playing?
The Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was pretty much you before your zillion landed all the poke. And right now, like I would rather you be standing up here, like
Okay.
in your front line of minions right now. It allows you to still CS, but it allows you to either she steps up and she tries to trade with you, which you just win because you're so far ahead, and you have ignite up. She has sums up again, but like you force her sums, burning ignite for heal or ignite for flash is totally worth it. Rakan is made of glass, so if you guys combo him, he probably dies instantly as well. Um, he has no flash. He has his E and his W. But if you walk up here, I guarantee you that this Rakan just thinks I'm gonna all in because that's what his champion does, and he needs to find a way back in this lane. So,
Okay.
so you walking up here either forces them to all in you and put themselves in a place of like danger because they're behind, or they just back off and they concede. You get this wave and you crash it into tower.
All right.
The reason why in this situation it's a bad play is because Rammus is here and he's already looking to screw you. Um, you have two wards on cooldown and your support has a ward on cooldown. So as your duo, I'd end your you have Hawk Shot, which I don't know how many times you shoot it per game, but when I'd get
Probably.
when I'd get into a situation where I'm looking to push up and play aggressive with my lead, I'd probably hawk shot through river or I'd hawk shot through bush. Or if you're on blue side here and you're looking to push up here, I'd hawk shot through river and then I'd hawk shot through their bottom side. Um,
Okay.
like one of the two. Uh, so a big reason why you're probably not having success with your leads is you're only generating kill leads and you're not generating CS leads. Um, and you're pushing up with no vision and it leaves you open for ganks, allowing their bot lane to get back in the game.
Okay.
Or even like mid lane roams. Oh. I just stay pushed up here. Yeah. Yeah, that was the flash was a little preemptuous, but I think it's fine just because it is Rammus. I want to see how far away their bot lane was when Rammus flashed in. So Caitlyn was all the way back here when you flashed. Even if you get Rammus taunted, he only has 1 point in it, so it's gonna last a second. Uh, I guess you don't have heal, so maybe it is the right play. It feels a little early. One thing you do after you flash is you continue to walk backwards. I would have continued to auto attack until they started pushing in for you.
Okay.
Because you know, Rammus has no flash, no taunt. Um, so he has no Q, so he really can't chase you. He can only walk at you with R and W active. Rakan burnt W, so you know he doesn't have that up, and he's not 6, so he doesn't have ulti. So you staying back here for this 1 to 3 seconds where you're not autoing is the difference between like you killing 2 here and you only killing 1, or you not even killing 1. Like if you guys weren't so far ahead, or you had any other support that wasn't Zillion.
Okay.
And then same thing there, where you continue to walk back after the Zillion pops, and you're giving them too much respect as if they have cooldowns that will kill you when they don't.
I think that's probably a problem that I have is not knowing how long everybody's cooldowns are, and I guess it's early, so I should assume that they're down
Hmm.
after you used them.
So even me, like I'm a plat level, like I'm plat rank, and I don't know half the cooldowns of the champions I play against in mid. Would it help me? Fuck yeah, it would. Right?
Yeah.
Like having that knowledge would definitely help me. It also requires a lot of time invested. And is that going to be the difference between me hitting diamond or not? Maybe. Maybe that's one of the things that would help me get there. Do I think it's the biggest thing I need to focus on? No. Um, you just need to kind of like rough estimate it. It's like, Caitlyn has no E. Rakan W'd 5 seconds ago. Rammus has no ulti. He balled in. He taunted. Like, just like stuff like that. Like you don't need to know exactly how long it is until it's back up. That just means how long you can do damage before they can really do anything back besides auto.
Okay.
So you have your abilities up and your autos. All they have are autos. So if between you flashing and then walking back rather than flashing and then still doing damage, and then kiting back as they push into you, and then continuing to walk away after Zillion dies is probably the difference between you killing Caitlyn and Rakan here,
Okay.
and then instead of just killing Caitlyn. Also, this like walking away, so you're really close to 6. You're probably 2 minions or 3 minions off, and you maybe you didn't see Ezreal walking down, but you guys can force this. Once you have ulti, like you have your ulti does a good amount of damage in general, and it's a stun, so it allows your Zillion to land his combo and your Ezreal to land his. So I would have like just went and tried to clear these as fast as possible and hit 6
Okay.
because it gives you all in pressure. Or you get the Zillion ulti or passive for it. Staying for the tower is fine. After that first plate, I probably would have just backed. Unless you guys are going to hard focus on clearing the wave. For the sole reason that Caitlyn's going to be back. And you're splitting a wave. Yeah, right now I would have backed instantly.
Okay.
Because you're splitting tower gold between 3 people, and it's really not efficient in helping you create a bigger lead. And even if you land that, like, they're so far back. Oh, yikes. That's a Smurf Zillion bomb. So this is just overstay at its finest. Yeah, you're dead there no matter what. So that's what we call overstay. Like a hard case of it. Or tunnel vision. Between launching the arrow and even like going for this it's really troll. Your Zillion has no mana and he has no ulti. You have no mana and now no ulti, and your jungler's topside. So you can't like 4-man dive this and make it efficient. Um, and you don't see Yasuo on the map. You don't know where Rammus is. It's just like a really coin flippy play. Where even if it's executed perfectly, you probably still trade 3 for 1, or even 3 for 2.
Okay.
Because someone's gonna have to die in this dive. Because you're relying on your autos for damage or Ezreal. Like the second he does this, I would just leave him. Like you see this happen
It's paused right now.
on stream. The second he E flashes in, like I would just leave. He's either killing him or he's dying. And by you walking into tower and pushing even closer up, you're not able to offer anything. You're under tower. So even if you auto attack, you're taking turret aggro, and you don't have the ability to get out of it without running towards their base into their tier 2, which is really risky because Rammus was in the area because he ganked bot 15 seconds ago, and Yasuo's recalled from mid, so him pinging you is he's just wrong. He either if he's gonna make that play, he's committing to it himself.
Yeah, I think we get in an argument with Ezreal at this point about that because I didn't want to go in on that.
If he's committing E flash and he's diving himself with no Zillion ulti, that's his call. Like that's 100% his call to make, and it's not your fault for not going harder because you have no mana and you have no ulti, and Zillion has no ulti. So Caitlyn has BF sword now. So despite you having she's died 4 times, you're still you don't have a CS lead, which is another thing. It's like CS is super important in generating leads, especially in low elo. You can fast forward through this stuff because your habits are probably gonna stay the same through a lot of. That was actually a good all in.
I'm still looking at the CS and
That was a
now
really good all in actually. Your arrow was good. Your Zill's bombs were good. Uh, right here I would have pinged Evelyn to help you take turret, or I'd commit to taking Infernal.
okay.
One of the two. Because if actually, I think pinging her to help you take the turret is the better play because I think you can just turn it into dragon after, like instantly, and it also like opens up your map a lot. Yeah. So you guys kind of have the same issue. It looks like you're trying to back here, which is the right play. I just would have backed sooner. So here's a prime example of what I mean when I say like CS is super important in generating leads. So not even just like in your thing because you have a shit ton of turret gold. So you have 4,400 gold total pretty much, and she has 3,000 gold total pretty much. So you have first blood plus 2 kills, which is about 1,000 gold altogether. So now you're sitting. If you take those just your kills away, um, you're only 300 gold ahead of her, and most of that's from plates. Actually, not a lot of that is from plates because you split between you, Ezreal, and Zillion for 3 of them or 2 of them. But if you look mid lane, Ezreal's 2-3-1, Yasuo's 3-3-0, but Yasuo has 1,000 gold lead, despite Ezreal only being down like 100 gold uh, worth of kills because he
Mm-hmm.
has the assist. He's down 34 CS, and it's pretty much 1k gold. Granted, Yasuo also got your shutdown, so it's a little skewed, but CS is just free income.
Yeah.
So no one's pinged MIA bottom. Which isn't the end of the world, but it's still not optimal, obviously. Oof. So yeah, this is another situation where you guys just don't have vision. Um, so it opens yourself up for a gank and it ends up costing you guys 2 flashes. And yeah, it's played pretty well by Zillion holding onto his ulti, so you save that cooldown. But just like using your hawk shot when you're getting ready to push up for turret, like through river or jungle, it just means that you're thinking about the possibility of the jungler or the mid laner coming down,
Okay.
which is a strong thing if you're picking Ashe as a champion. that spell or ability in general has like a lot of power if you can use it effectively. Like one of the worst things as a jungler is like your top side, like say say Caitlyn is Ashe and you're Caitlyn.
Okay.
Like the worst thing as a jungler is being Evelyn here and farming your Raptors, and a Hawkshot comes and lands on your Raptors. Not only does it allow their bot lane to play super aggressive, it means their top laner who was pushed up is now going to back off because he knows Evelyn's top side, and their mid laner might play towards bot side in here, and makes it so he doesn't die. It may make it so your jungler or the blue side jungler can go in and take the Evelyn's bot side. Um, so you if you're gonna continue to play Ashe, I think it's completely fine to play Ashe. Um, it's just using your E more, especially when you're pushing up and putting yourself in a situation where you can be punished for playing aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, that arrow was super forced, especially because there's minions in front of you and your Zillion is farther behind, like overall than you in the lane. So like you hit that arrow and Zillion's all the way back in the second bush. He can't step up and do anything here. So you're losing his double bomb damage. He's not in range to ignite.
Okay.
Like this was too hard in the paint here. Like if your Zillion was up more, it's completely it's a completely fine play. It's still risky because you know Rammus is bot side because he just got done ganking you, but like it's a higher odd chance. That play probably works 1 in 10 times. You have the damage to solo kill. Yeah, that was good. Walking up and cleaning that up. Oof. Well, that's an issue. Typing here is useless. Oh, they were controlled. You could have just walked away. Well, getting the dragon stolen wasn't your fault, but
So should I have backed off the dragon when Eve decided that clearing that ward was the thing to do?
no, that's just the Eve being dumb. Uh, Even her clearing the ward doesn't matter because she's still in smite range, so it's just her being a bad jungler. But typing is useless, which I could tell you were doing when you sat in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dragons get stolen, Baron gets stolen. Typing it does nothing. It just puts your jungler on tilt, like super hard. Which, yes, you're right. Like the Evelyn, that was a horrible play from the Evelyn by missing the smite. But you saying it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. That's something we were talking about was playing. Right.
Like, there's definitely times to fucking type. But this game is still like super winnable, and it relies on like a lot of team play. Cause you guys have a massive kill lead. You have a gold lead overall. Even after this, that was just you staying pushed up, even though they were dying bottom. Like the second your Zillion gets jumped here on blue side, I'd instantly just start like backing off and trying to get away. Because you staying there, you die no matter what. If you start backing off instantly, you have a chance at getting away.
Yeah.
Never chase Singed. First roll in League. XD. Yeah, this would have been a QSS game for me. Ramiston, Yas knockup, Caitlyn Trap, Archon
So
Charm.
when is the time to go QSS? If
So
I'm going Essence Reaver Trinity Force.
it depends on the game. So I'd just get the QSS sash and I would sit on the QSS sash until I needed my final item.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was versing, like it really depends on the team you're playing against. You're playing against a super CC heavy team. You're versing against Ramiston, Caitlyn Trap, Rakan Charm. You can QSS Yas ulti.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure you can. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can. Uh, but even if you can't, like, there's still plenty of things for you to
Yeah.
QSS. So I would have built my Bork, and the second, like, I noticed Ramuz was becoming, like, a real problem, I would have bought QSS. In this game, I don't think it would have been the difference maker. I don't think it would have changed the outcome, just having that item, especially if you don't use it, but I'm assuming you were typing there, or your auto path got turned off.
Yeah, we're paused right now. I think the stream's a little bit.
The stream's definitely behind.
So yeah, I'm not sure what just happened. I was probably typing.
You're either typing or your auto path got turned off because you clicked a minion, which happens to me, and it's always really annoying. This Yasuo is also just like really fucking fed, which always is a problem in low elo. The second I missed that arrow, I would just stop chasing, which it seems like you did. So you're still sitting on 2 wards, so again, warding. I feel like I don't really need to watch the rest of this game because I kind of know everything that I want you to work on. If you want me to finish the game, I can. I just feel like there's not going to be... It just kind of seems like the Yasuo rolls over your whole team.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so... A lot of the stuff was just kind of like, again, like the using your lead and CSing, which is kind of what I expected. So let me get you 2 videos here. Um, uh, is this one?
And the way you want to do.
Yep. So there's this one. And then we have these pinned in a playlist, I believe, for the USW LOL Society. Am I looking in the wrong spot? Oh, here they are.
Hey guys, I'm Fro.
So I don't know if you've looked into these.
I've heard y'all talk about them. I have not watched them.
So I would recommend, like, you don't have to watch the lecture ones. The lecture ones are really long and they're really, really good if you can sit through them. But
How long?
like, how long? They're like an hour long,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, I got time to do it.
there's 16 of them, so you're investing pretty much a day. Granted, you'll pull a lot of information out of them, and you don't have to watch all of them because some of them are like lane specific. You have like jungle, top lane, mid lane, um, but there's some like I'd recommend watching the 80 carry one, wave manipulation, and understanding wave management, which is kind of like when you shove, when you don't shove, when you leave the lane alone. Um, so I'll send you. Can I share the whole playlist? I think this shares the whole playlist. If not, it sends you to the first one, which will send you to the rest. Um, so these videos are super super good. All of them are. I've watched them. I watched some of them like 2 or 3 times. Um, I can turn off the screen share. So things to work on. What's the date? 22nd. CSing. Pretty much everyone needs to work on this. I need to work on it. People in Challenger can work on it. CSing is going to be one of those things that you can always improve on, and it's always beneficial for you to improve on. Um, a lot of people hate just getting told to get better at CS because they feel like it's not really like, what's the point of getting coached if they're just going to tell me to CS better? But it's the only guaranteed source of income that you have in League. You're not guaranteed 3 kills early. You're not guaranteed first blood. You're not guaranteed turret plating. Um, so CS is the only guaranteed form of income. Um, it seemed like you guys like that game. I can't really tell if you understand level two. Um, the level two all in. I'm sure you've heard them say it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we don't. He doesn't always play. He plays a bunch of different champions,
Yeah.
so we try to talk about when we're trying to go in.
As
Like
long
right.
as long as you're thinking about it, it's a good thing. Uh, so that's a plus. Um, wave management. When to shove, when to freeze. Uh, just like after you first blooded them, I would have left the lane alone and then come back rather than trying to shove. So that's another thing. Back timers, they kind of go hand in hand. They're a little bit different. Um, so backing when you have money for a power spike item. Um, Backing when you're not gonna set yourself in a position where you lose out on like a ton of XP or CS unless you absolutely have to. So rule of thumb is backing on a cannon wave because it takes longer for them to shove it in because cannon
Okay.
waves have a lot of health. Um, and then backing after you crash a wave will allow the wave to reset. Oh, which if you watch the USWL Society video on lane management, it'll kind of talk about that. Uh, when you have a lead, you had windows of playing too aggressive, and then you had windows of playing like way too far back. I'd rather you be playing too aggressive than you not pushing your advantage, because then your advantage becomes absolutely useless. Um, so we'll call that play like you actually have a lead, because you were 3-0 at one point, and you were still hugging your turret after you had backed to a Caitlyn with no items. Caitlyn lanes are really fucking annoying. Trust me, I know. I was a support player for 3 seasons. Um, but the best way to deal with Caitlyn is to just fucking shit on her. And you can't shit on her from outside of your damage range. I'll try and find the coaching video that Blake did, but he did like a really good one for an 80 carry, where he went over. They're called zones, which he has the tool that allows him to like draw on screen when he's doing a VOD. I don't have that. But he did like a really, really good one. This isn't what I wanted. Uh, so he did it for a
It is
support,
right.
but
No,
he
it's gonna be.
goes over the the zones. Like you can kind of see it in the thumbnail. He has all the markings on screen. Um, I'm gonna have to ask him how he does that so I can do it, become and use it as a tool. But he goes over like threat zones and all that stuff, which the videos will do as well. It's harder for me to coach that because I can't draw on my screen unless I would like. I mean, I guess I could do this and then like pull up a paint tool, but it's harder without champions and such. Um,
So he's drawing zones based upon like attack range and ability range. I'm
yeah,
assuming.
and kind of and then he does it for like how the wave, like what's the wave situation like. So like the pink here is where all the melees are crashing, and then the arrows are which way the waves would go and stuff like that. He This video is pretty. I don't remember who he was coaching with that video. But like he does a really good job on breaking down those the danger zones, or there's a bunch of different names for them, of zones of influence. I think that's what he calls them. Where each champion has a respective zone of influence, and they can't do anything to you if you're outside of their zone, but you can't do anything to them if they're outside your zone. Um, so like in that game that you just played, Caitlyn was out of range for your zone of influence, but you were in range of Caitlyn's zone of influence, so she could harass you for free with Q and with headshot autos, and you weren't able to do anything back despite being up 3-0 because you were playing so far back. Once you and your support stepped up and you chunked a lot of her HP, you started stepping up more and you were able to um, trade effectively and actually win trades because you were ahead and she was super far behind. Granted, it opened up your ass to ganks, but I'm actually gonna delete this video link quick so I keep your lists like consistent. And
Okay.
then warding slash trinket use, and then hawk shot if you continue to play Ashe. So using your hawk shot when you're stepping up into like a place where you're getting ready to push towers, or you feel like their bot lane is playing like really aggressive for some reason and they've been playing passive for a while. Again, the ability is really strong if you use it, and if you don't use it, you're hindering yourself playing Ashe.
Okay.
Um, and there was a couple times there where when you started to push up, if you would have used it, you might have saw Rammus and been like, all right, we can't really super far push up. We don't have vision. And it might have kept you from dying 2 times or having to burn sums to live, and stuff like that. So if I had to pick like 3 things I'd want you to work on, it'd be CSing, your back timers, and then warding. Um, the thing with warding at low elo is your team isn't going to get a lot out of it because half of them aren't going to pay attention to the minimap.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, you said that you don't always look at your map. I mean, I struggle to look at my map consistently, and I'm fucking plat. um, which is weird because I have the obsession of doing it in every FPS I play. Uh, but if you get good at using your trinkets and then using your trinkets, the information it gives you, you're gonna fly through gold. Like you're gonna find gold easier than silver. At least I did.
Okay.
I hated playing in silver. I hated playing in gold too, but so those would be like the big things. Do you have any questions or?
No, not really. Covered quite a bit, I guess.
Like that's the thing. Like I could have pulled out so much more. If I had like your actual perspective on the game, I could have gone over your camera management, which is important. I don't think it's the most important thing. I mean, Yasuo, who's a challenger Yasuo player, plays on lock camera. Doublelift plays on lock camera. Uh, I do think it's important to get off lock camera. I think playing unlocked is bad, but it's not like one of the big. It's not going to be the thing that hinders you from climbing um, until you
Yeah,
hit.
I play unlocked.
Yeah. Um, so my recommendation would be play. Do do some type of CS training, like even if it's like 10 minutes a day, like even if that's like your warm up. I don't know if you play like a warm up game or anything of norms or anything, but
Not usually. I
even
can
if you,
do the practice tool with do some CS though.
yeah, CS for 10 minutes and then hopped in your rank game. Like super super easy. And then if you do that consistently, if you're doing that before, like if you're doing that every day, if you're doing it, twice a day, say, you play 3 games, your CS is kind of mm, CS practice tool again. I don't know if you have two monitors or what you play on.
Yeah, I do.
Uh, you listening to a video that you don't need to pay 100% attention to, go fucking practice CSing. You waiting to go out, you're waiting for your girlfriend to get ready or whatever, practice CSing. Like, um, despite it feeling like you might be stuck, I feel like you're not for like a couple of different reasons. Like, one, this is your first season, you're silver. Granted, you have like a good amount of games played, but like, you're not playing bad. You have the same mistakes that almost everyone in your elo has. I mean, on your one trick, you have a super good win rate on a super large sample size of games. Your KDA isn't awful. Obviously, it's not great, but your KDA isn't going to be great when you have 500 games. You know what I mean? Oh, your CS is actually higher in rank solo. Yeah, I mean, CS is going to be big. Warding is going to be big, and then backing, back timers, and then when you have a lead, actually play like you have a lead, and you'll probably find yourself closing out games a lot more consistently, and you'll find yourself getting a lot more fed. You feel like that was effective? You
Yeah,
get
yeah,
you get
yeah,
something out
yeah.
of it at
No, yeah,
least.
for sure, for sure.
Sorry for the technical problems. I'm not at my super nice setup. So,
It's cool. It's cool.
uh
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
yeah, if you have any questions, like message me during the week if you have like a situation that you want to go over, say like you want to know like what you should have done in the first 5 minutes of one game or 10 minutes of one game, like let me know. I wouldn't recommend getting another like full VOD like what we did today for at least another 50, 75, 100 games.
Okay.
Um, and just focusing on the stuff I gave you, and then we can do another one, or you can ask Blake for his opinion because I'm sure he'll probably tell you to even play more aggressive than what I'm telling you. And he's probably going to hammer using your hawk shot and warding, and then reading the map. Blake is very very aggressive, so that's kind of that's where he shines. Is he makes plays where it's like that was so fucking risky, but he makes it work.
All right, man. I fucking appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for listening and supporting on Patreon. Again, you don't have to pay for anything. We do this stuff completely